Bryson, can you count to 10 for us?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
He said 7.
When times get tough, you need to get found. No need to look backward. Put your feet on the ground. Stand up. Stand up.
Welcome to The Fallen State. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. A quick reminder that The Fallen State is on Patreon now. So click the Patreon link in the description to support our work. And I thank you for it, folks. I appreciate that. You're not going to guess who is here today. He is something else. Bryson Gray, a conservative hip-hop artist and now a 14-time Billboard-charting artist. Bryson, thanks for coming on.
Of course. This is one of my goals in life, to come on here.
You are amazing.
Amazing.
So, I know I had you on the radio show. That was amazing as well. I want to know a few things about you before I get to your Let's Go Brandon song. Just for the folks who don't know, do you believe that human beings are in a fallen state?
Yes.
And what does that mean to you? What does it mean to be in a fallen state?
In my opinion, it means falling away from God and being what God made us to be.
Absolutely. And so is it possible to overcome?
Of course it is, as long as you got breath in you.
So if you're walking down the road or at one of your amazing concerts and someone say, hey, I want to overcome the fallen state, what would you say to them? What would you tell them?
I will talk to them about the word and talk to them about try to figure out what's going on in their life and try to help them do it.
Yes. And so I know you're a Christian, but I heard you say you're a Christian. And what does it mean to you to be a Christian?
To actually be Christ-like. I don't know about this new modern Christianity stuff, but it means to be Christ-like.
Yeah.
That's how I view it.
That's amazing, man. Do people get on you about being so into music and yet a Christian? Do everyone ever judge you about that?
Yeah, I get hate from all sides, left, right, middle, Christian, atheist, no matter who you are. I offend everybody. Amazing.
So you released this amazing song called Let's Go Brandon, and that was based on something that happened at NASCAR race. Tell the people what happened and that caused you to come up with Let's Go Brandon.
So there was a NASCAR driver who won an event. His name was Brandon Brown. And I think it was NBC, the news reporter. People were in the background chanting "F Joe Biden," and the news reporter said they were screaming "Let's go Brandon" because the guy Brandon won the event. And people turned into something to basically mock the media and to show their disdain for Biden at the same time. Perfect for me because I don't curse. So
right. I know. So none of your music has curse words in it.
No,
nice,
sir.
Man. It's nice to be making clean music and yet enjoy it and can earn a living from it as well. Are you surprised the way that it took off?
Yes, because there's like 10 Let's Go Brandon songs, and I didn't think mine would take off because I don't like my music to sound trendy. I'm an artist. I like making songs. So I want it to sound like a real song. And I thought it wasn't going to do well because I didn't add the chant in the song, and I didn't make it extra trendy.
I listened to it last night. It was amazing. I found myself bowing to it.
Let's go. Thank you. I love it. Amazing.
You even beat out Adele, right? The woman said, did you ever make it out of that town where nothing ever mattered? Hello.
Okay.
How are you? You beat Adele out.
Yes, sir. I think we doubled her sales. For like 1 week, we doubled her sales.
Were you surprised by that? Nobody beats Adele.
Yeah. I was surprised, and I wasn't just surprised. The music industry was surprised. Billboard, they were surprised too.
Yeah, you're blessed, man. That's amazing.
Seek first the kingdom of God.
Absolutely. And I know that, and I've read and heard that you've been like banned from different sites and taken down. you released this rap song, Let's Go Brandon, and YouTube banned the song. Why? There was nothing dirty about it. It was fun, and anyone, whether Christian or non-Christian, could enjoy it. Why did YouTube ban that? It wasn't racist or anything. Why did they ban that?
They claimed medical misinformation, which is a stretch. This is like the least controversial song I've ever released, also, which I find very interesting. But yeah, they call it medical misinformation and gave me 2 strikes. So I'm 1 more strike away from getting banned overall.
Really? And did they tell you what was the medical information?
No, I asked them exactly which lyric they were speaking of, and of course they didn't provide me with an answer.
And so since that happened, how's your song Let's Go Brandon doing now?
Well, thanks, YouTube, because after they banned it, it beat Adele out and it passed Adele. Now it's falling off a little bit, but you know how it go. Like a month later, of course, things start falling down after a while.
That's amazing, man. That is absolutely amazing. I was really happy, surprised that you beat out Adele because she really can sing. As far as I'm concerned, and you would have to be good to beat her out.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to, my whole goal is to take down the whole entire music industry anyway. Even Adele, she doesn't own her voice. These labels own it, and they're pumping all this money to push demonic messages on the children, talking about all types of killing, drugs, being drug addicts, selling drugs. So I'm trying to just take all that down.
Did you beat out that guy, the rapper Drake? I think his name is Drake.
Oh, yo, as far as sales goes, we beat out everybody. There's nobody we didn't beat for the last 2 weeks.
Wow. So have you been touring around the country as a result?
Well, driving. I don't get on planes because of the mask mandates. So I drive everywhere, and I'm rarely home. This is the most time I've had home in a while.
So where's home?
Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
And so you drive everywhere now because you just refuse to wear the mask?
Yeah, I'm not pinning it on, not even for 5 minutes.
Nice. And so when you have to go for a long performance, like to New York or California, you drive to those places too?
Yep, I've had 2 performances in Arizona in the last month or two. 24-hour drive there, 24-hour drive back, and I drove both times.
What? And do you stay? Do you stay in hotels and things?
I try to stay in Airbnbs because I have a traveling PC. So I try to stay in Airbnbs to get a stable Wi-Fi connection. But, just stay places on the way.
Man, that's what you call freedom, to work around this mess.
Somebody got to do it. That's how I view it. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Yeah.
So in my view, I'm an influencer. So if I'm telling everybody else to take the mask off, but I'm putting that mask on so I can go do a performance or something like that, that means that to me, the most important thing to me outside of God is integrity. So if I say something, I got to stand by it.
Well, the one thing I realize you're doing this is that you're willing to make the sacrifices to do it. Like, for me, I don't know if I would drive a car to Florida from California. I would just have to put the mask on the plane. When it's time to eat, it'd take me all night to finish the meal or something.
Yeah, that's what everybody said. Because not only is it time consuming, it's financially dumb to be honest. But I'm down to make the sacrifice. I might be the only one doing it, but somebody got to do it.
You're right, man. I really respect that, though. I don't know many people and that's one of the problems in our world today. People unwilling to make sacrifices, and as a result, they're controlled by the government and others.
That's why nothing changed, spiritually, physically, anything in this country. The reason nothing changed is everybody is played by convenience.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to make a sacrifice because that sacrifice is going to cause you to not have your convenience anymore. So people just comply. And once you comply once, you might as well comply every time.
Yeah, because I can guarantee you, if everybody said, you know what, I just won't fly. I'll drive to wherever I have to go. I guarantee they'll change that rule overnight.
They'll have no choice because they'll lose millions and millions and millions of dollars. They already got bailed out a few other times. They can't get bailed out but so many times.
That's right. So how much have your social media platform grown because of this?
Over the last, I think I had almost almost like 80,000 followers before the song released. And after, I think I'm at like 160,000 on Instagram. I'm almost at 200,000 on YouTube and almost at 200,000 on Twitter also.
Amazing. So when you sit back and think about this, what goes through your mind when you reflect on it?
It's sort of bittersweet for me because I'm always thinking about like the closer I feel like we get to changing culture, I'm trying to figure out how to take that and bust through the door. So like getting on Billboard charts a few times is cute, you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to change culture. I'm trying to offer an alternative to the Travis Scotts, to the Lil Nas X and people like that. And the fact that the hip hop blog sites can still ignore what's going on, meaning that means I'm not working hard enough.
Yeah. So did you grow up wanting to be a musician?
Yes, I've been making music since I was like 4. Like I literally don't remember, and that's just a guess. I simply just don't remember any time in my life where I didn't make music.
Really? And so were your parents musically inclined as well, or did?
Yeah, my father plays multiple instruments. He used to sing growing up. He had a few record deal offers and everything.
Oh, good. Like father, like son. I like that. So this wasn't the first time I read that you've been censored. What other musical platforms have you been taken down from, or your music been taken down from?
Spotify and SoundCloud banned my song Safe Space. YouTube has banned the song Let's Go Brandon. They also banned my song about hydroxychloroquine. I got banned on Twitch, which is a gaming streaming platform. Instagram banned my first account, and I'm currently on my second. A place called Bandcamp banned my entire account in 3 days.
What the?
Yeah, so I don't know.
How do you deal with all that? Most people, because they are such an ego trip, wouldn't be able to handle being persecuted in that way. How do you deal with it?
Find ways around it. They can keep banning me all they want. Somebody, another conservative rapper called me because he got 2 strikes on YouTube. It's like, what are you gonna do? I say, same thing I did last time. So like, I mean, but I do have ways around it. So I started like a text message service. So if anybody like text this to this number, then you can sign up and I can just text you personally. I'm not about to bow down because I don't want to get banned.
It's amazing for the children of God is that when one door closes, another one opens.
Every time.
And I don't think people trust that. I don't think they really believe that would happen for them.
Well, this might be sort of kind of controversial, but I think people don't have that view because they're not truly living for God. They're trying to live for the world and God. So they're scared about what the world will think about them or what the world will do to them, which means they're not willing to say whatever they want on these platforms with the risk of getting banned. Because when you get banned, you lose money.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. And that's why I try to tell people to seek first the kingdom of God and his right way, and to love him with all your heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else. Then you wouldn't be attached to those things. You wouldn't be afraid of losing them. You could take it or leave it, and it wouldn't be a big deal.
Matthew 6:33 is basically what you just said.
So since you've been speaking up about Christianity, have you experienced other types of persecution?
Yeah, by Christians. Mad because I'm not a Christian in the way they do it. And a lot of people don't even know the history, so they don't realize that they're following like New Age Christianity over the last couple hundred years. So they attack me and get angry at me because I'm not doing it the way they do it.
That is so true. They do that to me, so I definitely understand it. So I hear that you are tweeting out biblical questions now. That's nice.
Yeah, I do it because I realize people in these churches have been brainwashed. It's almost as if they believe in some false Jesus, some false God. And so I ask questions. And what I do, honestly, because everybody claims to believe in the Bible, I literally just take a Bible verse and turn it into a question. And every time I do it, people disagree with it. And it's like, okay, I don't know what to tell you about that.
Amazing. That is such a great idea. I've been doing those for a long time now on my radio show. And I do it because I just want people, as you said, I want people to start thinking for themselves and not believe something just because somebody said it. Because if you believe it just because someone said it, you don't know if it's true or not.
Yes, but the problem is when they're taught it, and a lot of people are not going to really read the Bible for themselves because they go to their preacher, which you should learn. You should be able to learn from your preacher, but you should also learn for yourself. So when you're getting taught this and everybody around you was taught the same thing, then at that point in your mind, the majority rules. So you're not going to even think anything different. And if Jesse Lee Peterson comes out and tell you something different, it could be directly from the scriptures, or if Bryson come out and tell you something different directly from the scriptures, your mind's going to automatically reject it. Yeah,
that's amazing how that is. That last week, I believe it was, or last weekend, there was a concert in Houston. And it was Astroworld by a guy named Travis Scott. I had never heard of him before until that incident happened. Do you know much about him? Where is he from, this country? Who is he, and why were so many people there?
Yeah, Travis Scott, he's pretty popular. I didn't listen to him even when I was like listening to degenerate rap music. I still wasn't listening to him. I wasn't a fan, but he has a very large fan base. I'm not gonna lie.
And why is his fan? What type of rapper is he?
It's like one of those like monotone rappers. It sounds sort of like but on trap beat sort of. It's weird. It's weird rap music in my opinion.
And so this past weekend in Houston, there was Houston, Texas. 8 people died at the music festival called Astroworld. Hundreds of people were injured at that concert in Stampede. Why did that happen? Because I'm not clear why it happened. They were claiming that some people were injected and some people had a heart attack or something like that. Do you have an idea of what was really going on, or do you have a clear picture?
Yeah, so also it was another confirmation today of somebody dead. So it's now 9 confirmed dead people. And it was 11 cardiac arrests. And the police came out and said that was attributed to somebody walking around injecting people with some substance, which is weird. But at Travis Scott's concerts, he sort of brags about how people get injured at his concerts also. And again, I'm not saying Travis Scott can control somebody injecting people with something. But at the same time, if I saw the imagery he had during his performances, and this wasn't the first one, he does this, everywhere he goes. It is sort of a demonic view, and he could just be doing it to be edgy. I'm not saying he's doing it as a satanic ritual, even though that's what it looks like to me, but he could just be doing it to be edgy. But regardless, to me, you just inviting evilness in. Yeah. I would not, like, if I had children, my kids wouldn't dare walk into that place.
Yeah. So is there any proof that someone was injecting others? Or is that just something people are saying? Do anybody have any proof of that?
Well, that's what the police department said,
Really?
Yeah. So they said that was going around. So it is confirmed that was happening because 11 people had cardiac arrests.
And so why would someone do that?
I can't answer that question. It seemed like the perfect place to do something evil.
Yeah, it sounds like a terrorist attack or something.
Yep, that's what it sounded like to me too. I don't know why they would do it. That's very weird.
Yeah. And I looked at the set as I was watching the news, and it has these big hands on it and this weird stuff. Did that look satanic to you?
It was purposely satanic because all they were doing was copying actual satanic imagery and just turning it into something about Travis Scott. Now, once again, he could be doing it just to be edgy. Playboy Carti does it. Lil Uzi Vert does it. A lot of these weird artists do it. But edgy or really believing in that satanic stuff, regardless, you're inviting evil energy in.
Plus, the young people are going to believe in it too, whether they realize it or not, because they're enjoying it and they like him, and evil would influence them as well, right?
Yep, which is why it happened, and that's why I think a 9-year-old boy was somebody amongst the victims that died. What is a 9-year-old doing at that type of concert? His music his music isn't even suitable for children. But all what's happening is people are becoming desensitized to the evil imagery. So it's normal to them now. The same thing with the LGBT, the same thing with feminism. All they do is promote it to the point where it's so normal to you that you don't even think twice about it.
That is so true, man. And it's too bad that the parents would allow their little kids to attend to something like that. Parents don't seem to pay attention to their children anymore.
Nope. You got two parents working. You're giving your kids, handing them off to the government to raise them. But then they're getting introduced to all types of craziness.
So I read that you at one time, I know you're a conservative now, right? But at one time you supported Obama and Bernie Sanders. And is that true?
Yes. Obama definitely supported him. I grew up in the black community, and being a Democrat is just what it is.
Yeah. I used to be a Democrat too, so I totally understand that.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people don't understand how that works. You can't even speak about supporting the Republican where I come from. That's just out of line. So I supported Obama, but what's funny is the reason I started researching politics a little bit at first is because I don't know if you remember, but Obama had claimed to be a Christian. He was for traditional marriage, and he was supporting things that I said, okay, I like that as far as social issues. Then his second term, they pretty much overrode everybody's, like all the state votes. I don't know. I'm sure you remember when the states had to vote for same-sex marriage. Yeah. And I'm from North Carolina. We voted no. I went I was a self-identified Democrat, and I went and voted no instantly. My whole family, we had a whole family out there voting no.
Like what the?
Exactly. And this is when Obama started pandering to the LGBT community, and then his Supreme Court pretty much said, we don't care about y'all personal vote. We're gonna make it legal everywhere anyway. Yeah. And that's when I was like, I can't believe I voted for this boy. And then I started doing a little bit of research. And then Bernie came along, and the reason I liked him had nothing to do with like his issues. It was because he didn't take donors and stuff like that. Oh, okay. So I was like, okay. But then I was like, he did something weird, talk about the LGBT. So I went to his website, and these politicians tell you what they believe in on their website. Yeah. You just take a little bit of time to go look. Yeah. And I disagree with every single. There was literally nothing I agreed with. I was talking about I needed just one thing to hold on to.
You make a good point, and that a lot of people don't take the time to read and to go to these sites and really see what these people are about. They're just taking them at their word. And I remember when Obama first got in, right away he overturned "Don't Ask, Don't Tell" in the military. And it's just from one thing to another. He really was for the homosexual LGBT folks. He was for that. I've never seen a president be that into that.
He was the most gay supporting president of all time. And it pissed me off because even though I identify as a Democrat, I was very conservative in mind. Yeah. In mind. I just didn't know what that meant politically. And that just pissed me off. But it didn't piss me off alone. It pissed my family off. My grandmother, everybody was mad. What is he doing?
Yeah, a lot of black people got mad about that.
Yep.
Oh, they thought they finally had a black president, and the Lord sent him. He's from the Lord. I call him the fallen Messiah.
Oh, hey, that's how a lot of black people still treat him like that, man.
I know.
I was just at a soul food restaurant back in North Carolina last week. And this man said, man, Obama, talking about him like he was really sent from God himself.
I have some close family members out here, and they were for Obama. And when I would meet with them and tell them what Obama was about or is about, same-sex marriage and socialism, they didn't believe it. They're like, no, he's not. You're just making it up. They did not believe it. And I'm like, I'm telling you the guys about all this stuff, but they just took him at his word. They didn't really pay attention to what he was really about.
That's because people don't research. And I used to be the same exact way. I just believed in something because I was going with the herd, and I didn't do no research for myself. But once you start doing that research, this is how I know the GOP sucks at marketing. If you just get people to look up their own belief system, most people will especially black people, will run from the Democratic Party so fast.
Yeah.
I don't know about now because they're pushing that LGBT stuff on black people heavy now. You got all these rappers and dresses and it's weird.
So I and then you support the Great White Hope out here.
Oh yeah. I was definitely a big Trump supporter. I don't like how he's pushing the vaccine now.
Just for the folks that don't know.
You're a little controversial. You're talking about illegal immigration. I said it's illegal.
The Great White Hope.
Yes, sir.
And so you were saying, first of all, before we get to the vaccine thing, what got your attention about him in the very beginning when you decided?
First, it was Ted Cruz. So basically, I literally went straight from Bernie Sanders' website. I started looking up a Republican. The only Republican I really knew of that was, established was Ted Cruz. And I looked at his website, and he was mentioning God, traditional marriage. I'm like, what? For real? So I was like, okay. And that got me to watch the Republican primaries.
Yeah.
And I mean, come on now. Trump wiped the floor with everybody. Let's just be honest. He talked like a normal human being.
Yes.
I thought I was looking at myself on the TV screen.
Yeah.
And like from that point on, I was a Trump supporter.
Nice. And now you think that he's pushing the vaccine?
So I still support Trump economically, obviously, because pre-COVID, you just can't beat those numbers.
Right.
But him, like, it's something he said that pissed me off. He said that if he was president, there wouldn't need to be vaccine mandates because everybody would just take the vaccine because he said so.
He said that?
Yes, and that made me mad. This is, like I said, this is a MAGA hat I have on now. Just turn to the back. So, I still rock with Trump, but he got he a little suspect. And then I don't know if you heard recently, but the GOP are starting something called GOP Pride Coalition.
I heard about that. What the?
Man, I'm talking about. It's like they trying to make me mad around me off. I don't know what's going on.
I have said for a long time now that for a while that the Republican Party is no different than the Democratic Party. They're in there for power, perceived power and wealth. The Republicans are not there for the people. They don't represent us now anymore. And that's why they don't win at anything, because they have the same mentality as the Democrats.
I agree. They're just a few steps behind the Democrats. It's almost like Republicans are chasing the Democrats' tail.
Amazing. That's right. Absolutely, man. So Donald Trump said that everybody would take it because I said it. Was he being coy? Was he like just having fun?
Nah. He was for real. Like listen. If I could find an excuse to make up for him, it's Trump. I would, but I can't. I can't with this one.
Yeah, as much as I support him and love him, he couldn't make me take. Just because he said take it, I'm not right out. I ain't that crazy.
That's exactly what I said. And then what made it worse is the question was about his opinion on the mandates, and he really didn't respond to that. He just said, well, if I was president, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't need to do this because everybody would just take it. And I said, no, I don't think any of us would.
Do you think he's trying to lay low like that so that he can run in 2024 and really be, so he's not just out there right now because he know the media would try to destroy his chance of winning in 2024? Maybe he's just saying this just to, get the independents and the liberals and everybody.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know why you would alienate your main base. Because most of, like, people like me, especially the men, I like when Trump defy what the media wants.
Right.
I like when he talk about illegal immigration. I like when he talk about these people and the evilness that they do. That's the Trump. That's why I voted for him.
Yeah.
So I don't vote for punks.
That's right. I can't imagine him trying to force it on people, though. I would be surprised if he did something like that. It just doesn't seem to be his nature to do it. Hopefully he's just joking around. But the problem is, like you said, people who support him may take that seriously, and then they won't vote for him because of that. So
I agree. Hopefully he was just playing, and I don't think he would force vaccine mandates either. I don't think he would in policy.
Yeah.
But it's just if that really is his mindset, that'll just turn a lot of people off, you know.
Yeah, it will. What do you have, Bill? Real fast, just tell me.
I just said Trump would have problems with the Democrats taking vaccine, actually.
He will have a problem with the Democrats taking vaccine?
Yeah.
Oh, my engineer was telling me that Trump will have a problem with the Democrats taking the vaccine.
I hope that's the Trump we need. That's why I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with 2022 and 2024.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty. I think it's going to be better than what we can even imagine because the people are really suffering now. I mean, everybody's suffering: Republican, Democrats, Independents, Socialists. Because I mean, it looked like the Democrats are trying to make everything bad for all the people. And they're in a rush doing it. They're not like waiting until the end of the year. Every day they got something crazy and something new.
Every single time. You know, it's funny. The guy I told you I was talking to outside the soul food restaurant, he was an Obama praiser. And, you know, he hated Trump. But at the end of the conversation before I left, I said, at least be honest with me here. Do you think Biden is doing a good job? You know what he said? He said, I'm not gonna lie, no, Biden's not doing a good job. And this is like the most pro-Democrat person I've ran into in a while.
Yeah.
Nobody likes Biden, I'm telling you.
Nice. How do your family feel about you supporting Trump?
So in the beginning, it was wild, obviously, because you just don't do that.
Yeah.
And I had like when I used to make worldly music, I had songs on the radio during this time, and it was messing up a lot of my relationships. But I'm the type of person that I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, that's up to you. But so back then, there used to be, you know, real arguments. But my dad said he don't even think he could be a Democrat no more, and my mama said, "Let's go, Brandon." So
That's right. So how did you become so brave and self-confident? How did you become that way?
I think I was born like this. I've always been crazy. Like I wish my parents like tell a lot of the stories from me being in high school, middle school. It may have been the energy may have been in the wrong direction, but I've always like, you know, played to my own music and danced to my own drum beat.
Yeah.
So I've always been like that.
And did you know that the president Trump mentioned you, right?
Yep.
About
Yes,
that?
sir.
Yeah. And have you? And what was that like for you when you heard about that?
Insane. The press that song got was insane, because even a lot of the conservative organizations that don't like me, even they had to post about what was going on with the Let's Go Brandon song. So
Yeah.
that whole ride over the last 3 weeks has been insane.
Yeah, I hear about it everywhere I go. Really, I literally hear people either singing or talking about it. Even my Democrat family members and liberal family members, they love it.
That's
Let's go,
so
Brandon.
cool.
Let's go, Brandon. So one other thing about the Republican bringing in the LGBT people, what do you think? Why do you think they're doing that?
I've been trying to figure it out. Obviously, it's because I don't know if you've seen the recent study, but I think they say like 37% of people from ages 18 to 24 identify as like LGBT. So I think they're trying to, you know, fight for the future votes because let's be real. So far, we're getting our butts whooped in the culture war. This culture is ran by Satan, and Republicans haven't been helping. And so I think they're trying to do that, but mathematically, it doesn't make sense. 15% of registered LGBT voters vote for Republicans, and Trump, after the latest exit polls, got 14% of that. The truth of the matter is, over 80% of white Christians vote for the GOP.
Yeah.
So mathematically, making the Christians angry to appeal to less than 3% of the country simply doesn't make sense. You can't out-left the left and expect to win. They're already 5 steps ahead of you in that area. Yeah. How far are you going to go? Because a skirt-wearing boy has been messing with little girls in bathrooms. So are you, how far is the GOP? How far are they willing to go to get that gay vote? Because if they're not going to go as far as the left, then you might as well start standing for something. People need the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like if one side is going to be pure evil, you can't be pure evil and win. They're already beating you in that aspect. But you know, who am I? I
remember 31 years ago when I became well, actually 32, I became a Republican conservative. And at that time, they were talking about God, country, and family, and they were speaking out against this radical homosexual stuff, and they were not for it. But I've noticed over the years that has all changed. And if you're against that, they won't even have you on because... And then I heard that one of the reasons they stopped criticizing these radicals is that they have them in their families. Some of them have homosexuals and lesbians in their family, and they don't want to insult them. And they have people who had abortions and things like that. So they're getting away from the moral issues. And I think that's a big mistake for them to do that.
The biggest mistake. And what you said is right. It's the greatest plan of all time, really. You force it into culture, make people see it, make everyone desensitized to it. So now all the people that were against it, now they have nephews, nieces, sisters, brothers, daughters, sons that are gay. So now you get soft on it. And next thing you know, you're scared to talk about it. And now the only people that's speaking about it are the people that are in it and promote it, and now that's all children get, and it's kind of scary. And if people don't start speaking out, it's just gonna get worse, as we're already seeing.
Yeah, I got one of those cold call from a Republican. Somebody representing the Republican tried to raise money for the Republican Party, and so they asked me what I continue to donate, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'll donate to Donald Trump if he runs, but I'm not donating another penny to the Republican Party because they don't represent me anymore. They are no different than the Democrats. And the lady said, it was a woman, she said, I understand how you feel, sir. I get a lot of people telling me that now. And look like that should be a message to the Republicans. They need to step it up.
It's not going to happen. The craziest thing to me is at these events, people say Bryson cannot perform. We're not going to let Bryson speak. Because I'm too religious or I'm too conservative, but they have no issues letting a homosexual speak. They have no issues letting a man dressed like a woman speak and prop them up at events. But they have a problem with actual Christian and actual conservative values. That creeps me out.
That's right. I saw Bruce Jenner, and Bruce is a guy in a dress, right? But he's still a guy, but I hear conservative media calling him a she. And I'm like, that's a man in a dress. It's still a male. It's not a she. But they're acting like it's a she. They're acting just like the Democrat. It's crazy to see that.
It's worse because the LGBTers, all the homosexuals that claim to be right wing, they give you this perception that they say it so loud. They say, we're against the LGBT community too, as they have on a dress and heels. This one dude I went to an event, he's like 6'3", bro, 6'3", had on dress and heels. I'm like, you need to be trying to get into the NBA or something. I don't know what you're doing here.
Amazing. I want to ask you about the music and culture. The late Andrew Breitbart famously said, politics is downstream from culture. Have you ever heard that before?
Oh, yes, sir. I say it all the time.
What does that mean?
Basically, it means everything follows culture. And I won't even say politics. I'm going to say everything is downstream from culture. So whatever the culture starts, whatever way the culture goes, that's where everything else is going to go, as we see. That's why we're talking about the GOP from 30 years ago when you started supporting them. It was about God, family, and country.
Yeah.
And now they're pretty much, I mean, the Republicans now are more left-wing than Obama's first term.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
So we're seeing it play out in real time. Everything is downstream from culture.
I believe if the Republican Party has stayed with the idea of God, family, and country, not the idea, but the reality, And they had started going into the black communities and talking about that, talking about independence, being free and believing in God. And they had gone into the black communities the way the Democrats were doing it. I believe if they had stayed with that today, we'll have more blacks in the Republican Party than what we can imagine.
Oh, easy. It's so easy because at least where I come from, the black community, our values naturally align more with the right than it does the left. But the GOP too busy, scared to offend people and trying to chase the tail of Democrats. They don't even see what's going on.
Yeah. What do you think about, have you noticed the attack upon white people today?
Oh yeah.
It's like they want to run them out of the country. Why is that happening?
Because they're what, 70% still, 67% of the country, and that's not good for Democrats. That's not good for the left. So what they're trying to do is let all the illegal immigrants in, turn everybody gay, pander to black people all day, let black people do and say whatever they want, persecute white Christians. And then they plan might start working even more than it is now. Absolutely,
man. Why don't the white people stand up and speak up and say no to this stuff?
They're scared. I don't know what's going on. These people out here kissing black people's feet. Boy, y'all lost y'all mind. Y'all lost y'all mind. I don't know what's going on with folk today.
And the men are as afraid as the white women. The white men have the same fear that the women have. And I expect the men to at least be stronger than the woman, but they're allowing this stuff, this critical race theory to be taught to their children. The kids have to get up in classroom and tell the black kids and others, I'm evil, you're better than me, I have white privilege. Little children are being traumatized by that, and the white parents are just letting that happen.
This is what happens when the household or anything else, when you letting the woman lead over the man, the man is scared of the woman, beta male, as you would say. When that is the case, this is what comes. Women are more emotional. That's biology.
Yeah, that's right.
So that their decisions are going to be more based on emotion than what your average man would. But if a man is letting the woman run everything and wear the pants, then what do you think is going to happen to the kids? What do you think is going to happen to culture? What do you think is going to happen to the men, period?
Yeah. So what does this conservatives need to do to take back the country?
Culturally, we need to start fighting back against culture.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. You can vote for politicians all day long. You can donate however much money you want to. These politicians are not going to change culture. Where I come from, nobody's about to listen to no man, black or white, in a suit talking politically correct all day.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is fight back within culture. The same way they got their Cardi B's. You got Tyson James on our side. You got me. You got a few other artists on our side that conservatives are so scared to do something with, but the left not scared to prop up Cardi B. They're not scared to get their favorite celebrities out. Little Nas X. They're not, because Democrats, as far as culture, are smarter than Republicans. That's just the harsh truth.
Yeah, you made such a good point. I was reflecting that when I first started out, there were so many conservative black people that Fox News and others would have on, and they were not afraid to tell the truth about the family and about whatever going on. But because Fox News and others have weakened, they're afraid to have those conservatives on now because they don't want them telling the absolute truth. Whereas if they had continued that, they would be encouraging more black people to start speaking up and rethinking things, but they'll soften down and they just won't promote conservatives anymore.
Because they allow culture to soften down.
Yeah.
Think about it. You can say whatever you want, be the most gayest person, wear a dress, and anybody will have you on, including Fox News. Yeah. But I can't go on Fox News and say the man is supposed to lead and the woman is supposed to submit. And I can't go on there and say maybe if the woman was at home and the father was working and y'all stop being played by convenience, you make her raise her own children. I can't go say marriage is between a man and a woman and that's it. You can't even say that anymore.
Right.
On these platforms.
Yeah. I noticed that Fox News now is pushing more women over men when it comes to the trucking jobs and everything. When they want an expert, whatever the situation, they tend to bring in women now once every blue moon. they were bringing a male, but they're like, just like the Democrats, they're pushing the women thing.
You said it, just like the Democrats. That's all Republicans do. They just 5 years behind the Democrats, 5 years behind the Democrats.
Yeah.
And every time.
What a mess. So is it true that you were invited to, I don't know which network, and you refused to go because they wanted you to wear a mask?
To clarify that, it was Fox News, and it wasn't that they wanted me to wear a mask, but they said the hotels and everybody required masks or a vaccine passport. and of course, I was going to drive. So that just, it simply wasn't worth the drive, and it just didn't happen.
Right on. You something else, man.
Yeah, so some people call it crazy because I spend so much money traveling.
What is a man?
A man is a provider. First and foremost, a man of God. And a man is a provider, a protector, and a leader, and all things that come with that, in my opinion.
Right on. And what is love?
Love is the truth. Love is God. Love is being honest and helping and everything that comes with that.
How old are you?
30.
No, you look younger than 30.
So some people think I'm 24. Some people think I'm 34.
Yeah, you look like a little young black guy. And so do you ever plan to get married?
Yes, I have a girlfriend right now, and hopefully we'll be married in the next year. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
It's time to get married, man. I've been celibate for a very long time.
That's funny. And so is she black?
Yeah, she is.
Oh, good. And is she difficult to deal with? How is that?
No. What's funny is I had a conversation with somebody on Instagram Live, and it was a guy. And I want to talk too bad about him, but his girlfriend was on top of him, like, tell him this, like basically trying to talk for him.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend was just sitting beside me, just quiet, letting us talk.
Right on. Nice.
And I was like, I'm so glad I have an actual woman as a girlfriend.
Absolutely, man. Well, I wish you well with that. So, anything you want to ask me, because I got to put you on the hot seat. Anything you want to ask me about or disagree or anything?
I watch a lot of your stuff. I pretty much agree with almost everything.
I'm glad you're out there, man. And whatever I can do to help you, if I can do anything, you let me know. You're welcome here at all time. And
Thank you, man.
I have a lot of respect for you, man.
Thank you so much.
We need more young men like this. We can change America. If the men were to turn back to the Father, we can change America overnight. It's just a lot of men are afraid, and they don't know how to return to the Father. But that's what's needed.
Facts. I agree.
Yeah. So I got to put you on the hot seat. We got to heat this up. And I need you to answer these questions as quickly as possible.
The hot seat.
Was women created to lead or follow?
To follow, man, to be a helpmate to the man.
Is a woman equal to a man?
No, the man is above the woman.
Are you an alpha male or beta male?
Alpha male for sure.
Have you ever been a slut maker?
Back in the day, yeah.
Is it possible to have perfect peace?
Yes.
Is the earth flat?
I have no clue. Don't care.
True or false? Black people are always late.
Facts.
Have you ever visited Mommy Africa?
Nope.
Are you a feminist?
Nope.
Have you ever done LSD?
No, I've never done anything outside of alcohol in my life.
Oh, yeah? No pot or anything?
Never even tried weed before.
Nice. And do you have a free will?
Yes.
Did you have fun?
Yes.
I really, really appreciate you coming on, man. And it's just amazing to know that you're out there. And you're doing it the right way. You're standing up for what is right. And the fact that you make these sacrifices is mind-blowing. Because as I said earlier, I can't see myself driving to Florida for an event. I would just have to put the mask on my face and when I eat, because for some reason they think that when you're eating, the virus take a rest.
Same thing with the restaurants. You can't get it when you walk in a restaurant. I mean, you can get it when you walk in a restaurant, but you can't get it when you sit down.
Isn't that amazing? What kind of thinking is that?
People follow it too. That's
even worse. So
crazy,
I forgot to ask you about Kamala Harris. What do you think of her?
Where is Kamala? For some reason, one day she black, the next minute she Native American. I don't even know where she is. 1 minute Joe Biden racist, the next minute she's his VP. Man,
that woman's so empty it's not even funny. Well, I appreciate you taking the hot seat. Tell the folks how to get your music, your website, whatever you want to put out there. Let the people know about it.
I'm on YouTube. Obviously, I'm almost at 200,000 subscribers. But the one thing I actually want to promote is I gotta find it. I'm never prepared. He black, but the one thing I do want to promote, and I think we just hit like 8,000 people signed up, is my text message service. All you have to do is text culture to 855-909-1389 because I'm probably gonna get banned from everything soon. I'm not compromising or changing how I talk. So in this way, I can just text you when I release new music.
Amazing. Well, man, I really enjoyed talking to you, and I really, really wish you well. I'm looking forward to hearing your next home run song, and God is with you, so keep doing what you're doing. It's just going to get better for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on, man. Thank you for everything you do, man.
Absolutely. God bless you, buddy.
God bless you too, man.
Amazing. So thank you, folks, for tuning in. Make sure you ring the bell, check out the merch. Check out Patreon on the TheFallenState now by clicking the link there of the description link to support our work. And don't forget to tweet everything. Let the folks know where we are. Let me hear from you about this. I know a lot of you wanted to hear this interview, so let me know what you think about it.
Next time on The Fallen State.
I have a bachelor's in gender studies, in gender and women's studies specifically. Considered myself part of that community for a number of years, and then just saw it go in such a direction that got unmoored from reality. They're doing unspeakable things to children. It's been a very dedicated push for over a decade now, at least. You know, Jazz Jennings is the classic example of the show I Am Jazz. They were parading him around on Barbara Walters, trying to say that he needed to be on puberty blockers. Then they put him on estrogen. Then he didn't go through puberty, and then they tried to give him a sex reassignment anyway. It's awful. The doctors and the governments and the non-governmental organizations are also all united right now in telling parents that this is the right thing to do.
What a mess. And so... Thanks for watching The Fallen State. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Support my nonprofit at rebuildingdemand.com and tell everybody and their mama about the show.